Hi, so I'm having a little bit of audio problems tonight. Hopefully this version will sound okay. Every version so far has sounded like I'm in a tin box. So I'm trying my Bluetooth speaker right now. We'll see how that works. Okay, because my big microphone, this one, didn't work. All right, so we are in week 15. We have 16 weeks in the semester. So you know what that means, right? Next week is finals week. Don't get stressed out. It'll be easy final. Everybody loves my final. Well, it makes you think. But anyhow, we'll talk about that next week. So don't panic too much about that. This week, I want to make sure that you have some fun and that you get to meet some interesting people. And let's just jump into it. So I'm going to go to a screen share, show you what's in Moodle, and then we'll talk about that. So let me scroll down here a little bit. Under the Think section, I only have one video, but it's a long video. It's an hour and a half long. And it's an AMA with Alex Huthmacher and Eric Hennigan. Both are good friends of mine. Alex was actually a former student of mine back in, oh my gosh, I don't even remember when, but he was like 16 years old. And I met Eric right around the same time. But he was already had a bachelor's degree and he was working as a programmer. And so anyhow, I've known these guys for a really long time and they're both doing super cool stuff. Alex is a senior network administrator and Eric is a senior software engineer. And so they both kind of come from or bring different things to the table for people that might be interested in knowing what computer information systems sorts of things are all about. So on this video, I've got it muted because I don't want it to play ahead of me, but last spring we did an AMA with them, Ask Me Anything. And so we had a group of students come in, and this is Alex right here, and this is Eric up here, and several different students from several different places. And they came in, and both of them talked for a few minutes about what they did, but then people just asked them questions, like some really good questions. All right. So you're going to have the opportunity to ask them some questions also. But we'll get to that in a minute. Anyhow, that's about 90 minutes long, but I'd like you to watch it because this is kind of careers week on the schedule. We're going to also finish up a little bit of programming with turtle art, but one of our main focuses this week is computer careers. So along those lines, what I did is I put a link here to the Bureau of Labor Statistics page. Now, this is a really great website, the Occupational Outlook Handbook. You can pretty much look up any career field here, like not just computer ones. You can look up just about anything. Occupation Finder, just go there and hunt around. And what's neat about it is it will tell you all kinds of information. So I don't know, let me click on Computer Network Architect. And so what it does is it literally breaks it down. Like, what do they do? What's the work environment like? How to become one? Like, what kind of education do you need? What does it pay? What is the job outlook? Are there more jobs or less jobs? This is a really interesting resource. And so I'd like you to take a look and see if you can find your job on there, the thing that you're interested in. And if you're not sure what you're interested in, browse around and see if you can find something that you're interested in, because it's a really good resource. The other link here is what is information systems. Now, this is from Carnegie Mellon University. And I copied some information off of their page here because I wanted to make sure to capture it. And it's talking about what is information systems? Like, and what do they do? What do people in information systems do? And so they have this whole section that I thought was super interesting. You know, they use the Internet of Things to design more efficient lighting. They teach children emotional intelligence. They help travelers explore national parks and forests, just like lots of interesting things. And they had another page, what is information systems and is it right for me? And so I didn't copy that page over, but I linked to it. And it also gives you a little more detail about what it's about. But I love this section. What can I do with it? Here are some examples of what you can do with an IS degree. Plan the future of smart cities and smart communities. Work with companies like Uber, Lyft, Waymo, or Argo AI to improve autonomous vehicle performance. Just all sorts of really interesting things that I thought you might be curious about. So check out that page. There's not a ton of reading there. It's more of like, oh, I didn't know that you could do that. Now, the second two videos here, well, the first two are articles, but the second two things here are videos. And if you were in Zoom last week, you had a chance to meet my husband, Steve, and he showed you some stuff in turtle art, which was a lot of fun. And I have to tell you, I've been watching Discord as people are posting, super excited. It made my job a little harder this week because I was like, wow, you guys are already figuring stuff out. So I had to figure out something that you hadn't already figured out. So, well, you can let me know if I did that. Anyhow, the point is, there's two videos here that he made, one about making the concentric squares and one about making concentric triangles and how to rotate them, that I thought you might find useful and interesting. And then down here in the do part, for the podcast or for the AMA, there's a review. So as you're watching it, and I put a link here to both of their LinkedIn pages. So if you want to kind of check out more about what they're doing and what their background is. But anyhow, what I want you to do is come up with 4 takeaways from listening, like 4 things you thought were interesting, educational, made you curious, that you agreed with, that you didn't agree with. So think of 4 things, or, as you're watching the video, jot down ideas. And then also I want you to come up with 2 questions for each of them, because I'm going to send them the questions. And if they have time, they might answer the questions. Like I think they'll have time. And so that way, even though it's not live, we can still put this up in Discord and you can get your questions answered. Maybe, I just had an idea. Maybe I can invite them into Discord. We'll see about that. Anyhow, so down here, it's real simple. There's the video again. And then idea 1, idea 2, idea 3, idea 4. If you want full credit on this, you need to not only tell me what the idea was, but why you picked it. Like, why did you find that curious or interesting? Why did you agree or disagree? So give me some details there. And then 2 fields for the questions. Now, back to the challenge, the turtle block challenge. So I have that open in one of these windows. So there's 2 challenges. We'll see if they're challenging. The first thing I want you to do is explore some of the files in the Turtle Art sample folder. So that means you have to see where that is. Turtle Art samples, sample files. So these are ones that Steve made already that he put up just as examples. Like, you can play around with it. And let me show you how they work. Like, what do you do with this in Turtle Art? Okay, turtle blocks. So the .tb is turtle blocks. I've got turtle blocks open right here. And what you want to do is click on the folder. The folder lets you load the project from a file. So that's what you're doing, right? You're loading a file. Let's see, what can I pick? Which one should I pick? Pin cushion diamond spirograph thingy. That sounds very technical. Let's pick that one. And when you do, it will open up in turtle blocks. And so you can, let me just run it. And so you can kind of see that little turtle's going like crazy. Go, turtle, go. And then I'm going to stop. So you can play with this. So you can make the pen size, like you can do, what I want you to do is just try it. Try some stuff. It's going to make it really big. Oops, I forgot to erase the other one. Let me hit erase. So, repeat, left, right, angle. You could throw colors in here. You can do all kinds of stuff, right? So try out a few of them, play around with them, see if you can figure out what they are. Remember, you just go to load project from file. Now, let me run that again. It's green now. Does it have a random color? If I go back and look at the code. It might just have a random color if you don't set the color. Anyhow, part of the homework on the challenges is going to ask you to take a screenshot of the code and to download your project, your artwork, as a PNG. And when you download it as a PNG, only the picture shows. So if your code's not long like this on the thing that you create, if it's not really long on here, you can take a screenshot of the whole thing, okay? Mostly I want to be able to see the code clearly, not in like teeny tiny itty bitty, font. And I want to be able to see your picture. Now on the other one, it's going to actually ask you, to do a screencast or a video of the turtle in action. And you'll see why when I explain what it is. Okay, So you can use Zoom, you could use Screencast-O-Matic, you could use whatever you like to use to make a video of that. So let's jump back over here. And we have the, whoops, let's go down, the Turtle Block challenges. Now I happen to have those open already. So the first part says explore, that's what we were just doing. The second part says, can you create wallpaper? So can you create something like a full page of something with a repeating design? So that's more than making the design. That's making the design and then it has to like move over, right? It has to do things. And so your goal is to make your own turtle block wallpaper. I just put a couple of pictures here just to give you some ideas of designs. This one kind of looks like a honeycomb. This one has a three-dimensional look to it, which it probably in real life is three-dimensional. This one's kind of some arrows going up and down. Just, you know, it could be whatever you want, but it has to be a repeating design, whether it's vertical or horizontal or some other pattern. All right, and so for challenge 1, this is the one where you're going to save your design as a PNG file and take a screenshot of the code. Okay. Now for challenge 2, I couldn't really put an idea example on here because you'll probably need a video for this. But this is the idea that you create something and you change the algorithm just a little bit over time so that the pattern changes significantly. So like this says, if our turtle's always moving 20 steps forward and turning right 30 degrees, you're not going to go in any new directions. So you want the turtle to be able to do his pattern like that, but then to also maybe move up or move sideways or, you know, move in some direction over time. It can get bigger, it can get smaller, but it has to move. And so on this one, this is the one you need to make a video of your design in action. And I want you to explain the code, like run it and then pull open the code and say, okay, well, here's what it's doing so that I can understand what it's doing. Okay, so that I know you understand what it's doing. And then make a screenshot of the code also, the code blocks, so that I can see. So where you're going to put that is on Discord in the week 15 Turtle Blocks channel, Turtle Art channel. I think it's Turtle Blocks. I should change that. Yay for the magic of Google Drive. Anyhow, so it's a Turtle Blocks channel. And what you're going to do is create a message that discusses what you learned in this activity, your aha moments or your takeaways from the coding exercises, and include the following. So for challenge 1, attach the design PNG and the code screenshot. And for challenge 2, attach the code screenshot and a link to the video. So don't upload the video to Discord, upload it to YouTube or upload it to Google Drive, one of those two. Make sure you have it set so that anyone with, you know, the link can view it, and then put the link in your post. So you don't need to make like 20 different posts here because you can attach multiple pictures to a single post. And if you attach multiple pictures, you've got like 3 pictures here, and you put the link in the body of your post. You can do this all in one post. So I think this is going to be a really interesting week based on what I've seen you post already. A lot of you, you guys are doing some cool stuff in Turtle Art. If you handed this to your kids, because we talked about that last week, right? Like if you've got kids around and you handed Turtle Art to them and they make something super cool, go right ahead and share that also. But don't have them do your homework for you. Okay, this is something for you to do, so and you to have fun with. So don't have them do your homework for you. Anyhow, hang tight. Make sure you sign up for Zoom next week because we're going to talk about the final in Zoom next week. And so make sure you make it. I can't believe we're at the end of the semester. Wow. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back for hanging in there.